Hey everybody, Gary here with Guitar Tricks, and in this video I want to share with you your first scale for improvising over the blues. So in the last lesson I made, we went over your first blues chord progression. Now what you're going to see me do, being I'm alone, is I'm going to lay down that chord progression on a looper, and I'm going to start improvising with this scale. So first we'll talk about the scale, and then we'll put it over a chord progression and see what we could do with it. And we're going to go over some techniques to bring it to life, like hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides. Before we get into it, please go ahead and click subscribe so that you get all of the latest and greatest content from Guitar Tricks. And if you want to be notified of any new lesson, be sure to tap the bell and let us know in the comments what you'd like to see in future lessons. That's where we're always looking for ideas. All right, so this scale is called the open E minor pentatonic scale. Or it's also known as the open G major pentatonic scale. So if you're hearing it over this chord, it sounds a little different. Still the same scale. That might sound familiar too. Like if you listen to the opening solo from Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, you're going to hear the most beautiful solo by David Gilmour in that open G major pentatonic. But right now we're thinking of it as open E minor pentatonic, which I'm sure reminds you of lots of other great songs too. So many great blues riffs, AC/DC, that kind of thing. Okay, so how do we play this scale? We're going to use one finger. Don't even think about what finger or fingers you're going to use first, and then we'll talk about which ones you might use. Just follow me along when I say what string and what fret. Okay, so we're going to start on string 6, which, counting toes to nose, is the one closest to your nose. So here's string 1, here's string 6. Okay, now on string 6, we're going to go open, 3rd fret. On string 5, open, 2nd fret. String 4, open, 2nd fret. String 3, open, 2nd fret. String 2, open, 3rd fret. String 1, open, 3rd fret. Going backwards, 3rd fret on string 1, open. 3rd fret on string 2, open. 2nd fret on string 3, open. 2nd fret on string 4, open. 2nd fret on string 5, open. 3rd fret on string 6, open. Okay, now if we look for a pattern, the 2 E strings are the same. Of course. Anytime you learn a scale pattern, the 2 E strings have to be the same. They're the same note. So here, if the note is E and G, well, it's E and G here too. So the 2 E strings are open to 3rd fret. And then the B string, or string 2, is also open to 3rd fret. These other 3 strings, strings 3, 4, and 5, are open 2nd fret. Okay, so now just see if you could feel your way through that pattern at your own pace. Great. Okay, now what fingering is ideal here? Let's say we're playing in 2nd position. What does that mean? That means your hand goes so that your index finger is on the 2nd fret. In that case, anything on the 2nd fret, use your index finger. Anything on the 3rd fret, use your middle finger. So that means on strings 1, 2, and 6, you'll use your middle finger. And on strings 3, 4, and 5, you'll use your index finger. So let's play up and down the scale again, 1 note per beat. When we get to the top and we play this note, we'll play it again and then go back down. 1, 2, here we go. Awesome. All right, now let's see if we could bring this scale to life a little bit. I'm going to try sliding into every fretted note like this. Right, on the way up. So how do I do that? Well, I fret the note right below the one I want to get to, and I play it, and then just slide my finger while keeping pressure down. You kind of want to do it simultaneously so it doesn't sound like 2 notes, because if you don't do it simultaneously, it sounds like 2 separate notes. That's not what we want. We want So as soon as you play the note, start moving, almost simultaneously. I mean, maybe you want, that could be cool, but it'll sound like a different scale. Okay, another thing I'm going to try is hammer-ons. So I just use the finger as a hammer, and I want the bony tip to hammer right into the fret. And just like a hammer, you got to cock back to get some inertia, right? You don't just go like that. So nice. And then pull-offs. That's where we take that fretted note and we pull down and out. Now you can hear that open string noise, right? So there's some ways to avoid that. One way is, let's say I'm pulling off this note. Let your pick rest on the next string so that it's muted, right? It can't ring out if I touch it with this hand. So right, so practice that touching with the pick. Another thing to do is when you pull off, just rest it on the string below. So see, with my left hand, I pull off and then just touch the string below. Hammer-ons, pull-offs together. Right? Okay, now none of this is sounding like music. So now I'm going to put down that chord progression from the previous lesson and try to make music with all of this. So I'm just going to try to hear and feel different phrases. So here's the chord progression. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, your turn. All right, everybody. So as you can see, there's so much you could do with that scale. It's got that classic sound. I'm sure it reminded you of lots of things you've heard before. The next step with that is going to be to move up a little bit so that you could kind of slide in and out of it. But first things first, work on this one for a while, master it, try those different techniques, slides, hammer-ons, experiment, have fun. If you want to learn more about playing guitar, head over to guitartricks.com. There's a library of high-quality song lessons, step-by-step courses on blues, rock, funk, different genres, a guitar toolbox, and all sorts of other great things. Happy playing, and I'll see you in the next lesson.